Okay, I'm going to come out here and talk about something that's been happening all too often lately with my experiences with online dating, and I want to share what's been going on. I did some searching online, and I noticed that everyone who talks about online dating scams tends to talk about people that they never get to meet in person. But what I've been coming across is there are people that I get to meet, but it never ends well. And there's warning signs that I have learned to look out for in order to tell if it's going to lead to a scam. The first thing that happens all too often is that when you get in touch with somebody online, they tend to only communicate by text. Like they won't actually talk by voice. They only will email or text to your phone number. But if you try to communicate by voice, they'll avoid the phone call, and they tend to come up with goofy excuses as to why they don't want to communicate by voice. They say that that their microphone doesn't work on their phone, or they got laryngitis. Those are the two most common excuses. And the responses to email on dating sites are rare, but it seems like most of the responses I get are these people who won't communicate by voice. And then they rush into an in-person meeting without any sort of conversation. It's frequently on short notice, where they will ask you to meet at the last minute. And then you have to rush to wherever they tell you to go on short notice. And usually they pick the place. It could be a coffee shop or an expensive restaurant. And they're always rushing to order food. That's the first thing they want to do. Even if it's not a sit-down restaurant. Like if you meet at a coffee shop, you sit down and the first thing they want to do is rush to the counter to order. It's all rushed. And they'll always say, I don't have any money, you have to pay. So I really get the impression that the whole idea of asking me out is that they want a free meal or free drinks at a coffee shop or whatever. It's all about getting me to pay. And the thing that I notice quite frequently is that if you try to engage in conversation, they'll say that I'm talking too loud, or they say that they want to change the subject and they're very abrupt about it. They're not interested in anything that I have to say, and it's all domineering, where they control what they want to talk about. And when I had that happen, all they talked about was bad relationships. And I've heard that that's a red flag if that's all they have to talk about. And then when they start ordering food, they often order excessive food. Like I had a girl once that I went to California Pizza with, and she didn't just order one pizza, she ordered 2 pizzas and a dessert and an expensive drink, all sorts of stuff. And she took most of it home. So that either they're going to pack it up and take it home, or they're going to rush and come up with an excuse to get out of the date, which I will cover a little later. But what they often do is they just order extra stuff just because they know that they don't have to pay, and then they take it home. And if you try to get out of paying, they guilt trip you. They say, "Oh, you're cheap," or they say it's traditional for the man to pay for everything. Well, I beg to differ. It doesn't mean that you got to order hog wild and take everything home. And you're just trying to get me to pay. You're taking control of my credit card so you can scam me. And that's financial domination. That's a sexual fetish that I don't want to get involved in. So that's what always happens. They hustle you to pay. And then if they get you out for a second date, all they're doing is getting you to pay again. So they're just asking you out to use you for your credit card. And I don't want to get involved in that. And then what often happens is they will do something or say something to kill the date. Like they'll tell a story about, well, I was just trying to fix you up with my friend. I have a boyfriend, but I was meeting you to fix you up with my friend. Well, where is she? That's what I want to know. So I don't believe that excuse. I think that's just a way to kill the date. And then the other thing is they'll often say something to kill the date like, oh, you should get out more. You should go on Plenty of Fish. You should participate in meetup groups. Well, I wouldn't need to if you really liked me and you wanted to go out. So you're obviously shooing me away to kill the date. You're trying to get me to do something else because you don't have any interest in me. So you're sending me packing. Come on. I'm no greenhorn. I know that. Or else they'll give some excuse. I got a headache. I'm not feeling well. The noise is bothering me. I once went with a girl to a poetry slam, which is something I like to do. And she, I think, was freaked out by the noise in the place. And she left. And it wasn't even halfway through the show, and it wasn't even on a break. She left while the show was going on. I couldn't believe it. Usually you're not supposed to get up and walk around until the break in the poetry slam, so you don't disturb anybody while they're performing. But she had to get up and leave right in the middle of the open mic. It was so embarrassing. And then, sometimes they'll have excuses like they have to go home and do laundry, they have to clean the house, wash their hair, or beat the rain, beat the dark, get home before dark. They come up with some stupid excuse like that. Or they got to get ready for school. They got school in the morning. Or they're going back to school, so they got to get ready. Or they're tired and they have to get up early for work tomorrow. And then the other excuses I hear are often about their family. My mother is sick. My mother got in a car accident. Or I got to go help my uncle. He's not doing well, or whatever. I got relatives coming in from out of town. I got to go. I can't go out with you. I got friends coming in from out of town. And the thing is, what they don't realize is that every excuse they give is cliche. It's something I've heard before. So it's like, I know they're trying to kill the date, even if they don't tell me that. So, I get scammed, I get excuses, all sorts of nonsense. And so the bottom line is that all this stuff is all planned out. I'm no greenhorn. I know exactly what's happening here. And I'm sure that these girls go from guy to guy to guy doing the same crap over and over again just to get their jollies. And of course, it's also possible that they're just trying to mooch off guys because they don't want to pay for stuff. So they do it every night for a free meal. They've got guys in their address book like crazy, and they hustle a different guy every night and then kick him to the curb. And the bottom line is, all you got to do to avoid this is don't accept a date without voice communication and sufficient conversation to get to know the girl to really decide if you really have a connection and you want to go out with her. But if she's not going to pursue voice communication and converse sufficiently so that you can get to know her before you venture out to that coffee shop, then I'd move on. So that's what I have to say about that. Good luck, guys.